Hello, you've stumbled into the number 0. Number 0 reading is actually going to be pick a deck reading. I'm going to do 3 general readings, and you pick which one you want. This is the answer to your question. I'm going to say that I'm going to encourage you to ask a very specific question. And I'm going to answer that question with some vague oracle cards of some kind. So this is number 1, 2, and 3. And we'll start with number 1. So I'll move these ones out of the way. Pick whichever one you believe is the one that has your message, or ask 3 separate questions if you want. Whatever it is that you want to do, or ask the same question 3 times and get 3 answers. For number 1, ooh. I'm just going to shuffle it up real good. Pardon me. Zero. Unknown, the unknown. This is something you don't know. And we're going to ask what's not known to make itself known. Miracles. Dirk's at my feet, and he's trying to claim the entire heating pad. It's not good enough for him to just have some of it. He wants the whole of it. You've got to leave revelation. Wow. I mean, these are dramatic cards. God. If your question had something to do with, am I going to experience some kind of an awakening? Am I going to become aware of something, an energy that is bigger than me? Or that, the answer is yes, if that's your question. Whatever the question it is that you have, what I feel the answer is to this question is that there's so much more to it than you could possibly perceive until something happens. And so it makes a lot of sense to me. The idea that I think you might be underestimating how big this thing is. I think you might be underestimating how much about it that you don't know. I just want to pull up a chair here because whew, this is one of those things that you pull up a chair, you just kind of, I got to sit down for this. This is a big message. That, and Dirk is insisting that the heating pad is his now. What a good boy. We found a way to keep Dirk off the table. I'm hearing a few things right here. I'm hearing in 3 weeks, I'm hearing you have gotten a very quick glimpse of this thing before. You've seen something about this before, but you might not have made the connection that this is what it is. So It makes sense to me that something that you don't know, there could be, I'm just picking up on this, I'm doing a bit of I'm deducing that there's an energy here that you might be underestimating just how powerful this thing is that's you're wanting to happen, or that you're wondering if it's going to happen. When you say, is it going to happen, you are limiting yourself to your current understanding of what it is. The answer is yes, if that's the question. And the answer is actually no as well, in a sense of, actually it's going to be more than you can perceive right now. So buckle up. You've invited something pretty serious into your life, and it's about to arrive. I'm getting within 3 weeks, and I'm seeing a little bit of almost like it comes to you in a flash of light. Something flashes, and you get a flash, some kind of it's just the right timing for a flash of light. Like literally I'm seeing like a camera flash or something. There's maybe something to be said for like a lens flare on a photograph. It's suddenly realizing that something was way more than you thought it was. So that's the answer to your first question for the first pile. There we go. Let's go on to number 2, second deck. This is another oracle deck. I'll shuffle this one up good. The answer to your question. I'm hearing the number 17. The name's Susan. Imagination. To the sea. Oh. All of a sudden I remembered to the Sail to the Moon, the song by Radiohead. Nineteen and 7. So this is 19 is 1, 7, 17. Just like that. Okay. Chaos and conflict. That is number 33. That's funny, I saw 333. 12, a change in the wind. And I've got 9, Treasure Island. So, okay, I see. The answer to your question is Colin. Colin's going to come in and let you know what the answer is. What's the answer, Colin? He's saying it's time for bed. He's taking care of me. He's been taking care of me all day long. He's a good boy. Yeah, you're a good boy. He wants to cuddle. He's basically just wanting to hang out. So, taking care of you. I'm getting that there's somebody who cares about you very much. They're okay. Colin landed on his feet. Dirk was in the way. I see that there's an energy here that you might have gone off to find something. There's something of a promise, like it's like I'm almost getting a very Six of Swords vibe because of this boat and, you know, like a promise of a calmer situation after chaos and conflict. And you might have headed off into a direction where you're finding yourself in the middle of the ocean and with no land in sight. Meanwhile, you took off for, you know, this very specific destination. And much like the first pile, it's something like you've maybe, oh, I'm getting a ringing really strong in my right ear. A really, you know, we might have envisioned what it would look like when we got out there or what we were headed towards. And I believe that what we've got here is careful about your stagnancy. Careful about your fixation on a particular destination. Because in whatever it is that you're heading towards, the chaos and conflict that you were experiencing is what you were leaving. What you've kind of set out to kind of avoid, or to go on to something that isn't so chaotic, that isn't so messy. At the same time, so here, chaos and conflict is a state of things. It's a state of things. It's not where you ended up. It is how things were. And so you might be looking for a destination when what you've actually set sail to do is to be in a different state. That might be literal. And so if you're feeling lost because you haven't found that destination that you imagined, center your focus back toward where you are and what your state of being is. Because you might have set out for exactly where it is that you are and mistaken the whole thing for, once I arrive at this place, once I have this thing or the other, once I have this treasure, then I'll have that calm state of mind. I feel like it's a thing where you need to generate the calm state of mind where you are now. That you've gotten out of a situation that was rough, and that on its own has the ability to give you everything that you need. The change in the wind is kind of suggesting that where you are right now isn't going to last forever, just like any of the places. This destination that you imagined might prevent you from actually continuing on your path, because you might still be looking for something that was never actually there. You maybe imagined it when you were here, but that means that it's all the way back here in chaos and conflict. You imagined something when you were in a chaotic situation. And now that you're not in that situation, it is probably hard to find it because you're not in that energy where you could find it before. Whatever it is that you're heading towards, it's going to adapt to the changes that you make, so don't worry. Don't worry about not finding it. You just might be looking for it. You might, actually, here's the thing. I can imagine that you don't want to go back to this place of chaos and conflict, but I can also imagine that you would need to in order to reconnect with this vision of what you thought you would find elsewhere. So you asked for this thing, it's on its way. You are in the middle of going there. Even perceiving a destination is no problem. No judgment there. You know, you might be somebody who's a little bit more goal-oriented. And what I see here is that there's change, there's adapting energy. That your dreams adapt to where you are. And you don't need to change a thing about who you are. Your dreams will come to you as you are. That's the answer. Okay. Now, we've got the last pile, the last deck for the 0 reading. Now this is a little bit more tarot, like it's the major arcana, but in different incarnations. Let's see what we get for your answer. For your number 3. Temperance. Hermit. The Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Let me just take a look at this. There's something that's isolated from you right now. It keeps itself hidden. It's not sure where to go next. It's not sure. It's trying really hard to feel its way home. There's this wanting to go home energy in this hermit, like, you know, trying to create a home wherever you are, and there's just a kind of itching feeling in this card, like, what's going on in here? We don't know. This is like unconscious. They don't know either. What's going on with them? They don't know either. The most I can tell you is that they don't really know. If that's the question. There's something of a surrender going on here. Surrendering to... Basically, the situation that somebody's in is where they don't know much. That they've really got to look deep within to find an answer. And they're in this position probably because of a lot of things that are outside of their control. At the other end of things, I see them emerging with basically a newfound will to create something new. At the same time, I'm not sure how long this is going to be. I'm like hearing like years. There's maybe somebody who you're estranged from. I almost want to ask about that a little bit. I mean, because it's strange to keep that in... They don't know either. It's kind of an attitude of kind of, okay, whatever. Even if this takes a bunch of years, I don't know. A bunch of situations outside of their control. They're stuck here for now. And they're trying their very best to be, to learn how to be happy where they are. I feel like there's basically, if your question has to do with somebody else, if you're asking about like, what's up with somebody? Why are they being this way? Why are they, how come I haven't heard from them, or something like that? Or if you're asking a question about maybe even, why am I feeling, you know, what is this, me being kind of isolated? If this comes in the upright as though I'm giving you some kind of info, you know, about what's coming up for you. Whether this is about somebody else or this is about you, the energy that is an isolation is gradually making peace with that, is gradually kind of learning to just surrender to the position that they're in, understand that we can't change what happened, and from that acceptance that we can't change what happened, we come to realize that we actually when we learn to be accepting that we can't change what happened, we actually start to change what will happen. I see somebody here who's going to step into their power, I guess. Now, this is stepping into, no matter what you do, you're going to have an effect on the world. You're going to have an effect on the world around you. And if this is someone else, they're realizing that no matter what they do, they're going to have an effect on the world around them. So might as well, you know, no matter what they do. They can't change the past. They can't change what they did in the past. They can analyze it and try and figure out why it is that they're in this situation that they're in, where they're isolated. But what they know is they can't change it. What they know is that no matter what they do, they're going to affect the world around them. So if we learn to kind of accept that fact, then we can start turning that into something that no matter what we do, we're going to affect the world around us, being an exciting thing again. I want to affect the world around me. This is somebody who's finding their desire to make their mark on the world. And that's it. That's the reading. So that's all 3 mystery readings for the 0. Who knows what 0 means? What does 0 mean? All right, I said that I was going to do those 3 readings, and now I'm going to do a bonus read for everybody in the numerology groups. If you've made it this far, I don't know, maybe I'll put 0 last. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You're being offered a gift. These 2 cards came up in the number 1 reading, which is really interesting. So it's almost like we've come full circle. We've got a Page of Swords and we've got a King of Swords. Did this come up in number 1? I think this might have come up in number 2, the Page of, or the King of Swords. Anyway, these cards are all very familiar to the readings. It's almost like we're getting a synopsis of everything that's happened over these numerology readings, which is kind of a common thing for the collective. So as a collective reading, what I will say is we're generally inclined to be courageous about what we'll see consciously. Have faith that your unconscious side is receiving the message. It's that, you know, sometimes we're led to believe that faith involves forfeiting our intelligence. And I want to just kind of put it out there in this reading, only because there's an opportunity, that what if it's, rather than forfeiting our intelligence in our conscious minds, it's to actually have trust and faith that our unconscious experiences or processes are actually just as capable of receiving that same intelligence if we offer it. I know that there's been many attempts in the past to kind of connect with something or heal from something that has really kind of held something in the dark. And it can be disheartening sometimes to keep trying over and over and over again. But I feel like the faith we can offer is actually in our unconscious processes' ability to receive what we offer. Have more faith in yourself. Have more faith in the things that you don't know about yourself, that they're there working for you, that they want you to do well, that they want you to be okay. That they're just as courageous. And we externalize it like, oh, they're like a whole nother character. And then we experience these relationships and situations with other people where we end up just projecting our unconscious things onto them, and we don't know that we're doing it, because our unconscious is kind of held down by our constant need for it to present to us some logic. Meanwhile, logic is okay, but it's kind of not the language of what's unconscious. The language of passive energy, of unconscious energy, is the energy of receiving. And that energy is going to, that side of us is going to receive whatever we feed to it. Because it's trusting us. So, as things turn out, as time goes on, I don't know if it's our job to control our unconscious processes, rather than it be to continue to offer ourselves, our unconscious processes, things that it receives, that I don't even have a word. There's no indication. You fill in the blank there. I think that's what it is. What do you think you should, if we're thinking, if we're thinking about what it is that we're unaware of, like what do we don't know, and we're asking tarot, I don't know this thing, I want to know it. I know I don't know, so I want to become aware of something. Is that your consciousness, your conscious process is aware. Unconscious processes, by the very nature, are unaware. That is the nature of something that is unconscious. And rather than get all bent out of shape and almost be like a dictator about, I want to know more, I want to know more, I want to know more. It could be to spend that energy, to take those swords of logic and reason and rationality, and to consider what it is that we're offering to a part of us that will passively accept whatever we give it. Rather than trying to coerce unconscious processes to give us answers, this is almost like an offering to honor that which we don't know. Well, good place to leave it there. I'll end it. Thanks so much. I hope you get a chance to check out all the readings in the numerology series of readings. The series. We just spent an evening recording these, and I had a lot of fun with everybody on Discord, and I'm going to continue having fun tomorrow. I think I'm going to be streaming, but by the time you see this reading, tomorrow might be a long time ago. So let's not talk about that. But I can say that if you want to support the channel, there's a PayPal link in the description where you can toss some into the hat if you have some to spare. And also there is other ways. Subscribe to this channel if you can, and also come check out the Twitch stream. It's usually on Saturdays, and you can follow the channel and you'll get a notification when we go live next. Tarot Lady in a Church, just like this channel, but on Twitch instead. So feel free, and thanks again for hanging out, and I hope you have a great day, or evening, or afternoon, or whatever it is going to be for you coming up. Thanks so much. Bye. Bye.